Magandang araw! Today pag-uusapan natin sa video na to ang finals matchup between TNT Tropang 5G at Barangay Ginebra San Miguel. Finals matchup, rematch ulit, di ba? TNT versus Ginebra. Pero this time, TNT's import's not going to be Ronde Hollis Jefferson, it's not going to be Bol Bol either. It's going to be Chris Macolo. Bagong salta sa TNT pero itong import na to meron championship pedigree eh. Nakapag-champion na to sa PBA stage. For Barangay Ginebra naman, it's almost the same lineup. Few tweaks sa bench lineup nila or sa supporting cast. Pero yung kumbaga yung second best local sa Ginebra, which is RJ Abarrientos, is a different version of RJ Abarrientos. I'd argue hindi na kagaya nung dati na binuli ng TNT. Pero still, interesting to see paano siya magpa-pan out. So anyway, itong video na to, I'm going to make it a collab video between Buckets and Barangay Breakdown. So pareha siyang lalabas sa feeds ng dalawang channel na yan. So para sa perspective ng neutral fan or ng TNT fan, ang magiging perspective dito ay kung ano yung mga key factors or advantages na nakikita ko for TNT Tropang 5G. Ano yung mga bagay na magaling sila. They had success the last few games nila against Meralco. And sa perspective naman ng Ginebra, kung Ginebra fan ka watching this, galing ka sa Barangay Breakdown, these are the things na dapat abangan or dapat i-expect na magiging problema or hindi naman problema pero mga bagay na dapat mong abangan kung saan magaling ang TNT. So first of all, this TNT team is quite deep. Kumbaga kung Ginebra fan ka, looking at this TNT team, marami rin silang guards na kayang maging scorer or scorer in general. Pero this is way different. Kasi this TNT team, ang ginawa nila nung semifinals, minatchup hunt nila si CJ Cancino. At si CJ Cancino naging unplayable kasi hindi niya kayang bantayan any of their guards. And TNT's backcourt kasi has been elite. Like Jason Castro and RR Pugoy nung Elims, medyo on and off. Jordan Heading all throughout the conference has been off. Ng Batak as well. Pero ngayon pagpasok ni CMAC and pagpasok ng semifinals, biglang umangat yung laro ng lahat ng mga guards ng TNT. And alam naman natin kung anong capable, 'di ba? Ang isang Jason Castro sa playoff setting. Kung saan parang it seems like 'di ba nire-reserve pa nga siya sa mga ganitong klaseng serye. Na parang during the elims, parang chill-chill lang si Jason. Pero pagdating ng playoffs, talagang umaangat. He even started some of their games on semifinals. Sa Jordan Heading naman, pagpasok ni CMAC, bigla namang umangat yung laro. And si RR Pugoy naman, on semifinals, matchup nightmare siya for Meralco kasi nagma-matchup hunt sila with RR Pugoy. And ang magiging question dito, sinong babantayan ni RJ Abarrientos? And again, uulitin ko, this is a different RJ Abarrientos we're talking about. Siguro mga 4 months na or ilang months na din, maybe several months already, na hindi na ganun ka-defensive liability si RJ. He has improved quite a lot in terms of being a defender. Hindi na siya basta natutulak-tulak. Yes, hindi pa rin siya sobrang capable, medyo limited pa rin siya, pero ibang-iba na kaysa doon sa rookie RJ. And we have to remember na yung RJ na binuli ni Jason Castro dati is an RJ Abarrientos na early pa lang sa career niya. And ngayon pa rin naman early. Pero he has improved. Pero again, if we're going to look at TNT's lineup kasi, RR Pugoy, Jason Castro, and Jordan Heading, itong tatlo na to, di ba? Dito pa lang, medyo mahirapan ka nang mag-matchup against sa kanila. Especially kapag ang kasabay, either of the two, sa tatlong to, kung pili ka ng dalawa, ang makakasabay nun, either Glenn Cobontin, Calvin Aftana, Kelly Williams, Chris Macolo. Saan mo itatago si RJ kung Ginebra ka? And ito yung first advantage na nakikita ko for TNT. Dahil yung backcourt nila, lahat kasi capable shot creators. I'd include Ray ng Batak dito sa listahan na to. 'Di ba? Kumbaga 4 yon na guards na kayang umatake ng mga guards ng Ginebra like RJ Abarrientos na hindi ganun ka-capable defensively and might force Ginebra to play Nards Pinto a little bit more and maybe lessen RJ's minutes. I don't think mangyayari yun, pero if RJ plays 36 minutes per game, may opportunities for these guys, diba, to score and match up hunt and open their offense up, which is yun, dun magaling ang TNT. And speaking of these guards, isa sa mga to ay si Jordan Heading right now, na over the last 3 games, ang ganda ng performance. And this is mostly because of Chris Macolo's entry sa team na to. Chris Macolo kasi, I don't want to compare talaga kay Bol kasi unfortunate yung nangyari kay Bol and I'm not doing this, 'di ba, para i-bash si Bol, Pero kasi Chris Macolo is more of a team player compared to Ball. Eh nung si Ball yung player ng TNT, medyo bumaba yung assist ng TNT, bumaba yung attempts from the locals, even the conversion. And ang pinaka naging biktima doon, ay hindi naman biktima, ang pinaka bumaba ang talagang laro ay si Jordan Heading. Kasi na-limit siya into being a spot-up guy instead of his usual off-the-dribble game. Kasi yes, Heading is an elite catch and shoot, combo guard, kayang mag-dos, pero Heading kasi sa PBA level, more than capable siya as a shot creator with the ball. And ngayon, pagpasok ni C-Mac sa last 3 games, grabing performance si Jordan Heading. Biglang umangat sa 22.3 points, 4 assists, at 63.2 sa 3 points, na 12-4-19 over the last 3 games at rest. Grabe yung numbers na yun Baka siya maging X-factor para sa TNT. Kasi Ginebra, yung mga bigs nila like Japet Aguilar, Isaac Go, even Troy Rosario are not the best defenders in terms of pick and roll defense. Maybe si Troy pwede mong gawing pang switch, pwede mong gawing pang hedge si Troy. Pero ang magiging counter kasi ng TNT doon is having C-Mac as the screener. Na ang galing-galing ni C-Mac. So yun yung pag-uusapan natin dito sa clips na to na ginather ko. Kung makikita natin dito, this is a 2-man game between Jordan Heading and Chris Macolo. Makikita natin, okay, high ball screen, pero yung screen kasi ni Chris Macolo sobrang solid. That it forces Jordan Heading's defender to fight over and mawawalan sila ng time, di ba, to come back and recover to Jordan Heading. Dito, ang nangyari na lang, nagkaroon na lang ng switch. Pero si Gardner kasi, not the best in terms of laterals. And nakadrop dito si Gardner. So, libreng pull-up yan para kay Jordan Heading. And that's an easy 3-point shot para kay Jordan Heading off the dribble. Again, dito, 2-man game, attacking Gardner. Nag-over dito si Brickman. So now, drop defense kay Heading. Nag-hesitate pa nga si Heading, pero sobrang layo na rito ni Gardner, makikita nyo. All because of Chris Macolo's very solid screen. Wide open 3 para kay Jordan Heading. And again, dito, 2-man game sa dalawa. Diba? Very good defender kay Chris Newsome. Went over the screen, or tried to, pero sa sobrang ganda ng screen ni C-Mac, napuwersa na lang silang mag-switch. And si Gardner, nakadrop, too late na para umangat. And again, another open 3-pointer. Kung makikita natin si Brickman dito, si Senyas pa yan na parang, ba? Parang, pwede ba umangat pa kayo? Dito naman, again, another high ball screen, attacking Gardner, nag-go over ulit, over and drop coverage, pero, makikita natin dito, kung ipi-play pa natin ng konti, eventually, magkakaroon ng parang dalawang semi-committal players kay Jordan Heading, which opened up the drop pass or the pocket pass papunta sa isang rolling Chris Macolo. And again, the 2-man game. Diba? Ang ganda kasi ng mix Heading na threat of the dribble sa 3 points, Heading na kayang pumasa, and C-Mac na can either pop, roll, or short roll. Kasi athletic siya He's tall, he's athletic, he's a scorer, he's very capable. And si Jordan Heading naman, diba, can either pull up from here sa 4 points kung gugustuhin niya, or can pass kapag dalawa yung sumalo sa kanya. Dito, late sa recover si Cliff Hodge, nag-roll dito si C-Mac, may help defense pa from Newsome, and 1. Yun yung maganda sa combo nila ni Sim. Pero outside of those 2 players, kung makikita natin overall, TNT, umangat din talaga yung stats nila overall. Yung defense nila, always naman yan nandyan. Very consistent defensively naman talaga ang TNT. I think yan yung pinaka hindi ganong napapansin ng mga fans na nanonood sa TNT, na isa silang magaling talaga na defensive team. Kasi when people see TNT, ang unang naisip nila, dribble drive, Chot Reyes, etc. Offense. Pero 50-50 kasi siya for me Si Chot kasi 50% elite defensive coach, 50% genius offensive coach. Oo, genius si Coach Chot. Kasi yung tinatakbo niya sa TNT is what they need to run. Yung 3 points din nila, tumaas na ulit. And yung attempts nila, tumaas na din. 30 attempts na ulit sila. Which means, TNT is starting to look like TNT again. Which is scary kung ikaw yung Ginebra. Kasi, nung eliminations, kaya nila tinalo TNT noon kasi yung parang kalaban nila hindi naman TNT, kalaban nila noon ball and now TNT is looking like TNT again with C-Mac, who is kind of a team player compared to the previous import. So kung Ginebra ka, medyo katakot-takot tong team na to compared sa previous iteration nito. And again, talking about Chris Macolo, babalik lang pero nagpapakita na rin naman siya kung ano talaga yung kaya niya. Meron siyang PBA Championship experience. Pinakita niya yan sa 42-point outing niya against Meralco. So far, he's looking like the Chris Macolo that we knew, or we know. Yung alam natin na Chris Macolo. Though right now, medyo nagsistruggle pa siya in terms of efficiency. Pero ang maganda kasi kay Makolo, again, magaling nga siya mag-set ng screen. And pangalawa, he plays team basketball. Kaya niya mag-exist within the system. And di ba nga nanggaling siya sa SMP, which is a team, di ba, na built on system. Sa last 3 games niya, nag-average siya ng 29.3 points, 11 rebounds, only 43% field goals, 29% 3 points. Pero these are things na we should expect na umangat the more na masanay at makapag-adjust siya sa PBA ulit. And ayun, babalikan natin na saglit yung 2-man game ng TNT na kinover natin kanina. Si Jordan Heading, 22 points. Si C-Mac, 29 points. Parehas above or almost 4 assists per game. Heading with very efficient outings. C-Mac kind of the opposite. Pero they play well together. Yun yung mahalaga. Na meron silang parang well-oiled machine na pwede nilang asahan outside of the other guys like matchup hunting kay Pogoy, yung usual of Tana, or even yung pabugso-bugsong BGR games, or even yung Kelly Williams na biglang magpuputok sa 3 points. Meron silang aasahan na 2 players every game. So yun, itong matchup na to medyo unpredictable kasi hindi ko rin masabi talaga kung paano sila mag-matchup right now. Ang kaya ko lang sabihin kung saan magaling TNT, saan magaling Hinebra, anong weakness ng Hinebra, anong weakness ng TNT. Kasi hindi pa sila nagtapat Nung nagtapat sila, Lims, iba pa import ng TNT. And right now, itong TNT team na to, nagsisimula na silang magmukhang kung ano yung alam natin sa TNT. Kung ano yung TNT na championship caliber team. And hindi yung TNT team na nagre-rely lang sa isang import. This TNT team is starting to look like a better version of themselves kumpara sa, than 7 weeks ago, I guess. Pero for Barangay Hinebra naman, hindi ko rin kasi masabi na swerte ang Hinebra na hindi si Irish J or si Ball. Pero at the same time, yung uncertainty kasi kung paano mag-fit si Max sa TNT sa 7-game series and mas lalong mas nagamay niya yung system ng TNT. Ang hirap sabihin So maybe, yun talaga yung point na this finals series is going to be very exciting kasi kumbaga, kahit na TNT versus Hinebra ulit, parehas na ibang version ng team na to. Hindi na to yung Hinebra team na triangle ng triangle. Hindi na to yung TNT team with RHJ. Hindi rin to yung TNT team with Bol. And hindi rin to yung Hinebra team earlier in the conference na medyo na hindi pa ganong sobrang ine-embrace kung paano sila maglaro right now. So, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be great